Parliament's Public Administration and Appropriations Committee yesterday.
I left the JUTC in 2012, operating 400 buses with 1,780 persons.
1780?
Yeah. I think that's the optimum level for the JUTC now.
And what is the current level?
2,250 persons.
I'm not sure that I heard the figure correctly.
2,250 persons.
2,000. So you're overstaffed by in the region of 500 persons?
Yes, we have a number of persons that were overstaffed by.
Mr. Abrams, what I want you to tell me, did you employ those persons that you're overstaffed by?
No. Absolutely not, no.
What have you done subsequent to taking control of the JUTC to reduce the staff levels to the maximum number of staff required to operate that bus company?
There's a number of acting and temporary positions that are in the JUTC right now, close to some 300. We are doing a rationalization at this present time with the HR department as to look at what persons have been put elsewhere from their substantive posts and temporary persons had. We should be actually completing that rationalization by sometime next week.
Mr. Abrams also admitted that compensation for the additional staffing is costing the company $25 million a month. The committee was also informed that vacancies existed at the company for technical staff such as Grade 1 mechanics. Abrams said that the company had lost Grade 1 mechanics to companies in Europe and Canada, which had made lucrative offers. Human trafficking, domestic violence, and issues of intolerance continues to influence social problems in Jamaica, but advocacy continues to challenge that status quo. PBCJ understands that more than 7,000 women, children, and men suffer from human trafficking in Jamaica alone. The PBCJ project, a collaborative effort of the University of Technology and the United States Agency for International Development, has been making great strides in its advocacy against these issues. Director of the project, Professor Rosalie Hamilton, told JIS think tank that the program has, up to this point, impacted more than 10,000 individuals since its introduction.
Women are actively involved in human trafficking, are in fact the main perpetrators of human trafficking, as well as the victims. And the domestic violence is not one way. It's men beating women, women beating men.
The workshops were also geared towards equipping participants to mitigate the associated negative impacts, as well as encourage persons to report any occurrence of such crimes. The project targeted a number of communities in St. James, where there were several reported cases of domestic abuse, sexual violence, and exposure to human trafficking. Obesity has become one of the main risk factors for non-communicable diseases, and in particular cardiovascular conditions in Jamaica's recent years. So says Executive Director of the Heart Foundation of Jamaica, Deborah Chen, during a recent interview. According to Mrs. Chen, many persons who are overweight gain weight incrementally without realizing. She likened the extra weight on the body to carrying around a knapsack, adding that the added weight puts a strain on the heart. She explained that the hormonal impact of being overweight may lead to other conditions such as diabetes and cancer. The Heart Foundation of Jamaica, HFJ, is urging Jamaicans to check their weight on a regular basis to determine whether they are overweight or obese. Falmouth's noted Georgian architecture and rich historical heritage will take center stage on October 18 with the inaugural staging of the Falmouth Heritage Exposition. The Heritage Expo, which will be held in Water Square, is designed to boost civic pride in Falmouth by highlighting its structural and cultural heritage. It is also intended to foster a civic-minded community that values its heritage and works together to preserve its unique built environment and a distinct element of its tourism product. A highlight of the expo will be the launch of an updated interactive heritage map of Jamaica. The map illustrates cultural and natural heritage sites across the island. The event is part of the Sustainable Destination Alliance of the Americas initiative. In regional news, Antigua and Barbuda are adopting a zero-tolerance approach to CARICOM nationals who go to that country and commit crime. Prime Minister Gaston Brown told Parliament this week that 2 people were recently deported and at least 4 more are to be declared persona non grata.
We can put them in jail, we can't deport them. But those who are non-belongers, we are systematically rounding them up and deporting them because of the security threat that they present to this country. And I know at some point they may want to take the issue about violating regional obligations. When it comes to the security of this country, that is where CARICOM starts and CARICOM ends. They can go to court, but the reality is you cannot abuse the hospitality that we have extended to you in this country.
With 60,000 Haitians set to be deported in a few months, the Haitian government is appealing to Washington to pull back its plan to send home Haitians currently living in the United States under temporary protection status, TPS. In an official letter to the Department of Homeland Security, Haitian ambassador to the United States, Paul Altidore, has formally requested that U.S. immigration authorities grant an 18-month extension to the initiative, which expires in January 2018. He said Port-au-Prince was not in a position to meet the needs of the returning nationals in light of ongoing struggles to return to normalcy following the January 2010 earthquake, which was set back even further by extensive damage caused by recent storms. U.S. Congresswoman Yvette D. Clarke, the daughter of Jamaican immigrants, has reportedly warned that the United States president is, quote, a direct threat, end quote, to Caribbean American community in the United States. She reportedly made the comment while addressing the anniversary luncheon of the Brooklyn-based group Vincentian American Independent National Charities, Inc. According to Ms. Clarke, there are, quote, critical perspectives we need to incorporate into the debate on immigration. For example, the perspective of people from the Caribbean, end quote. There are more than 3 million immigrants in the New York City area who are members of the Caribbean diaspora. Ms. Clarke says more than 400,000 currently lack legal status. The Caribbean Life newspaper quotes Ms. Clarke as saying, "He represents a direct threat to this community, a white supremacist who has surrounded himself with other individuals who share his bigoted and wicked ideology," end quote. The Trump administration began unraveling an Obama-era program shielding from deportation Caribbean and other nationals brought to the United States illegally as children. The phase out of the 5-year-old Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals program known as DACA has reportedly begun. Those were the local and regional stories. Do stay with us. Sports is next. In sports, Sprint King Usain Bolt will start the Heroes in Action Run Walk on Sunday at the Falmouth Cruise Port in Trelawney at 7 a.m. The event is being staged by the JN Foundation in partnership with the Usain Bolt Foundation. The proceeds from the event will be donated to the Trelawney Infirmary to upgrade and refurbish the facility, which houses 62 senior citizens. In other sporting news, Argentina came from behind to win in Ecuador and avoids missing a World Cup final. The Argentinians began the day 6th in the group and needing a top 4 place to qualify automatically. They made a slow start in Quito, losing a goal inside 38 seconds, but fought back with star player Messi. In other World Cup news, Chile, the winners of the last 2 Copa America titles, are out after losing 3-0 in Brazil. Brazil had already qualified, and Luis Suarez scored twice as Uruguay beat Bolivia 4-2 to qualify, with Colombia also advancing after a 1-1 draw in Peru. Peru finished 5th in South American qualifying and will now meet New Zealand in a 2-legged playoff. And that's all for the news and sports. Do stay with us. The weather report is next. This is PBCJ's weather report. Thanks so much for staying with us. Let's start with a look at our local forecast. Across the country, we're seeing a forecast of scattered showers for today and an average temperature between 28 and 29 going up to 30 degrees Celsius. In our 7-day forecast for Kingston, we're looking at rainfall for today and also a forecast of rainfall for tomorrow. We're seeing a 30% chance of rainfall. We're seeing an average temperature between 24 and 32 degrees Celsius. We should be getting some sunny skies on Saturday, but we're still seeing a 30% chance of rainfall on that day, and that chance goes up to 80% on Sunday. It goes down a little bit to 60% on Monday, so ensure that in all your plans for this weekend you keep that in mind. Over there in Montego Bay, St. James, right now we're seeing a forecast of a 60% chance of rainfall for tomorrow and a 40% chance of rainfall on Saturday. We're seeing a forecast of some sunny skies for the weekend, but it goes up to 40% on Monday. We're seeing an average temperature between 24 and 30 degrees Celsius. So please do ensure that you make your plans accordingly. Let's look at our forecast across the island for tonight. We're expecting an average temperature between 23 and 26 degrees Celsius. We're also seeing a forecast of scattered showers across most parishes. And tomorrow we're expecting an average temperature across the island between 31 and 32 degrees Celsius. We're also seeing a forecast of scattered showers across most parishes. We're seeing a forecast of sunny skies though throughout the day over there in Black River, St. Elizabeth. And in our regional forecast, there's a system still affecting the Caribbean. A trough is still affecting Central Caribbean, so you can expect rainfall across most countries. An average temperature, though, will be between 27 and 31 degrees Celsius. And that's it for the weather report right here on PBCJ. Remember, we are the People's Station.
My mother tells me that when I was a teenager, she noticed a dip in my mood every year around the time of exams in school. In my second year of university, I experienced a number of challenging events that led to